I'm currently putting together garden beds in our garden, which will be all through here. And I am on garden bed number 1, and I'm already sort of over it. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Only how many more to go?
I don't know.
A lot. At least 16. We were able to get some galvanized garden beds, which I highly suspect are really galvanized, although that would be awesome, on sale. And so we kind of scooped them up because we just needed something to plant in. So we are doing our infamous lay the cardboard down to kill the grass and bring up microorganisms underneath the soil. So if you're wondering how much Amazon Prime I actually order, this is just a small portion of it. Our mailman is like, we're here again. Anyhow, so we have done this with dry cardboard, and we've done it with damp cardboard, right, Sean?
Yeah.
And Sean recommends.
This has been out for months.
This has been out for a few months, just kind of sitting in a pile in our garden. We haven't had a chance to get to it, and so it's damp, and it's a lot easier to lay down, right?
It is.
It is. A lot easier. So actually, if you were laying dry cardboard down, the recommendation would be to wet it with a garden hose or something. And you want to overlap your pieces so that you don't have like any areas that the grass or anything could get through. So our plan is to lay down our cardboard in our garden and to put hardware cloth. Hardware cloth is not a cloth. Hardware cloth is sort of like chicken wire, but sturdier. It's like so we would put hardware cloth underneath our garden beds and lay the garden beds on top so that any moles or anything or voles,
Because we have a lot of
or things that live in the ground and like to eat your vegetables, can't get up into your garden bed. That's the hope. And so we're going to put those underneath these, and we're going to make walkways between each of them and do cattle panel archways between them, and it's going to be awesome. So I have to keep that motivation going as I'm putting all these little teeny tiny screws together. I am going to pull all the kids out in a few minutes to help me, but they're quiet and behaving right now, so I'm really not complaining about that. They've been very good today. So we've moved the cows today, we've moved the sheep today, we've moved the guinea hens today, the chickens are out picking through everything, all the animals are all set, the cats are okay, the rabbits are okay, the dogs are okay, and it stopped raining, so it's time to get our garden finally put together. The last 8 months that we've been here, we've pretty much focused on like bigger things and getting our infrastructure stuff set up, and getting livestock and animals and that type of food security. And so that's been kind of our big focus, and we did a lot of that. So we have currently lots of chickens in the freezer, pigs in the freezer, and everything else is sort of moving along. So now it's time to do some garden beds, and we're kind of late putting some stuff in, but we're gonna do it anyway. It has to be done. And so we're gonna plant what we can for the fall and get a fall garden going. Doesn't all have to be done at once. And this is, are we gonna do hugel beds in some of these?
Yeah.
Okay, so we in the past have used hugel culture garden beds, and so we're kind of take some of that and use that in these garden spaces. So a hugel culture garden bed is actually it's a German name. It just means mound garden, and you can look it up. Hugel culture is spelled Hugelkultur, I believe. And basically you are taking logs and then sticks, leaves, decaying logs and things, and you're putting them in the very bottom of your garden beds, and then you're building other organic matter up on top of it, and until you create sort of this mound garden that you're planting in. And those decaying logs in the bottom of your garden bed are going to add fertilizer and nutrition for many, many years as they decompose. And they're also going to retain a lot of moisture, and they make it so that you do not have to water your garden as frequently. They hold a lot more water and moisture in it, and they release it more slowly back into the soil. They're great. So we had hugelkultur garden beds back where we moved from, a few of them, and they were always super nutrient dense and gave really good vegetable crops from them. So we're going to use some of that in the base of our raised garden beds and add some of that at the bottom. And we also have we have a big mound of soil that we had purchased to add to some of our garden beds, and we actually did soil testing in this area, and the soil in our garden areas is actually really good just for gardening, which is not always the case depending on where you are in Missouri. You can have very rocky clay-like soil that doesn't always have a good pH or nutrition quality, but it looks like this area has been used for gardens before we came, and so it's really nutrient dense. We have also run our cows through here, we've run our sheep through here, we've run our chickens through here regularly, so they've added a lot of nutrition into the soil. So that's what we've got going on right now. Sorry it's so wobbly. My arm was falling asleep while I was doing the video. We also are going to be adding worm castings into our soil, which is a really excellent fertilizer. So we're just trying to make really good, nutritious gardens to grow in, and then just get our stuff planted. That's the plan. This is where I am right now in my pile of previous purchases. Memory of how much I shop at night when the babies don't sleep. I'm sorry, Sean. We needed all of it. Anyhow, I will post an update as we're moving along and let you know how it's all going. There's my Gus. Hey, Gus. Who's the best boy? He is the best boy. He's such a good boy. Gus is only 10 months old, and he is huge, but he's learning to be a great guardian dog. So that's where we are today. Getting the garden ready. Pullen Family Farm. Like, subscribe, and share, and I'll do a follow-up video as we're moving along in our garden. Have a great day.